Hello, my name is Kimberly Drakeford, and today I will be discussing my presentation on preparing teachers for AI integration in K through 12 classroom, discussing their professional development needs, challenges, and also giving you the best practices for equitable implementation. Introduction. Changes to school education took effect in November 2022. Today, we have the San Francisco-based research company, which everyone know as OpenAI ChatGPT. This is actually nothing new. This technology has existed for a while. ChatGPT is an intelligence program which responds to the commands by producing human text. Also, in addition to this technology being around for a while, this gives internet users worldwide an opportunity to access this artificial intelligence through a user-friendly interface. Education is only one of the industries Education is only one of the industries in which AI has been changing. AI can completely transform education by making it more efficient, individualized, and also engaging. When it comes to AI in education, that can refer to AI technology such as machine learning, natural language processing, in order to improve the educational process. Also, teachers can customize instructions for each student by using algorithms that evaluate data, identify trends, and generate prediction. This article will examine AI's function in education and how it transforms the nature of learning. How does that work? So, for example, students must use AI in all content areas, language arts, social science, math, and also science. In order for this to occur, educators must develop methods for teaching AI in all of these content areas. In addition to producing more efficient methods, this will also address the realities of already overly packed educational curricula. In order for this method to be achieved, um, researchers must establish a program on design principles for professional development centered on AI pedagogical and subject knowledge. Research on K through 12 AI professional development should look into strategies for a worldwide of AI competencies that educators and administrators start with. The purpose of this research was to undertake a qualitative analysis of numerous problems and challenges that secondary school teachers have as a result of the widespread use of open AI or Gen AI in education, which includes the implementations of academic integrity. This research aims to address the following question: what are the main issues and opportunities that secondary teachers see as a result of the spread of Gen AI? This study sought to provide major insights into changing educational landscape by investigating instructors' perspectives, their coping strategies, and understanding how technological innovation is affecting it. Also, there were exploring secondary teachers' um, questions and worries. All that was explored, and the issues about the growth of Gen I in education, which is also necessary before developing techniques that allows the use for Gen AI while maintaining that academic integrity. Understanding that teachers' perspectives is critical for addressing potential challenges and maximizing the benefits of AI educational tools, fostering a robust educational system that nurtures ethical practices and prepares students to meet the demands of the modern world. The rationale: secondary school teachers are developing techniques to deal with the increase in student utilizing Gen AI in their classes, which means that new teaching and evaluation strategies, Long-standing practices, including those in secondary schools, are basically being disrupted. Depending on one's perspective, these trigger events might catalyze positive or negative changes in establishing behaviors. As a result, educators will face both obstacles and possibilities as they negotiate the complicated landscape of AI driven learning environments. The influence of AI on secondary education has not been given the same level of attention as a post secondary education. So, despite the rising amount of scholarship and reform proposals in this area, and because of this omission, researchers know little about the type of support that secondary school teachers desires. More training and professional development may be necessary to guarantee that teachers have the skills and knowledge to smoothly incorporate new technologies into their lesson plans and evaluation techniques. So, without this expertise, educators may find it difficult to identify and address their students' inappropriate and unapproved usage of AI in certain situations. The discussions of AI would turn into an argument about academic dishonesty. To create those strong rules and more behavior, addressing these concerns and proactively encouraging discussion among educational stakeholders is crucial. Educators are more likely to maintain academic integrity when they use AI educational capabilities this way. For my theatrical framework, there are three main frameworks that I will discuss. We have the Knowles Adult Learning Theory. We have the TPAC framework, which is the technological, pedagogical content knowledge. And then we have the equity focused approach to technology integration. Together, these frameworks provide a lens for understanding teachers' professional development needs and their problems while implementing AI tools in Title I classroom. So, with that being said, we'll start with Knowles' Adult Learning Theory, which is andragogy, which is defined of the art and science of helping adults learn. Andragogy became a rallying point for people seeking to distinguish adult education from other fields of education. There are five underlying assumptions when it comes to this because adult learners as someone who is, I'm sorry, adult learners as someone who guides their learning and possesses an independent self concept, draws from a wealth of life experiences and rich learning resources that has learning needs closely tied to shifting social roles, focusing on problems, solving and eagerly applies to knowledge immediately. And adults also learns by driven by internal rather than external factors. So with your TPAC or your technological pedagogical content knowledge, this basically describes how teachers effectively use technology to support their lesson plan. TPAC describes several knowledge subdomains. You have your subject knowledge, which demonstrates how teachers understand organizations, their subject grades, and pieces of evidence. Teachers' pedagogical expertise, reflects their understanding of general education principles and strategies. Teachers reflect their perceptions of evidence, structure, and content level through their content knowledge. This idea relates to subjects, traits, and behaviors with varying standards. Next, you have your cultural relevant pedagogy, which is the same as your equity focused approach that I discussed earlier. So, that is a term described effective teaching in a cultural diverse classroom. It is an approach to education that relies on teachers as a decision maker and intellectuals who can translate and implement research and policy. So this will coincide with the equity as far as in Title I schools. With these three frameworks, will guide the study design, formulate the research question, and interpret the results. The method that was used in this study is a qualitative case study method, which was used to investigate secondary school teachers' professional development needs and perceived barriers to integrating AI tools into Title I classes. A case study was appropriate since it provided a thorough insight into participants' educational experiences. Participants in semi structured interviews gave insights regarding their usage of AI tools, the source of professional development they received, the problem they experienced, and their recommendations for future training and support. Interviews were chosen as a primary data collection method because they allowed for rich, descriptive responses and enabled participants to participate. Also, in this study, it included three educational professionals, a science school a middle school science teacher, an assistant principal, and also district technology coordinator. Um, they were purposefully chosen because these individuals represent various views, including classroom instruction, school based level leadership, district level technology support. And although their confidence and trading levels differed, all three of these individuals use AI technology such as Grammarly, Canva AI for writing support, and also GoGuardian for classroom management. We had a science teacher, for example, that utilized Canva AI. Assistant principal basically emphasized on the problem of combining innovation, clear policies, and teacher preparations. And from our tech coordinator, she basically provided a district-wide viewpoint outlining how continuing professional development and Tech Tuesday activities enable teachers to learn and play with AI. These participants gave a broad grasp of AI potential and practical barriers and educators confront in Title I setting. For the data, researchers collected data during a 60-minute semi-structured focus group. There were 10 open-ended questions from all three participants. Um, For example, again, you had the science teacher, as far as the Canva AI students were able to do their project, but there were also some students who were observed using Chat GPT to copy complete essays without even editing. Our administrator basically focused on teacher training gaps, pointing out that many professional development workshops offer resources without demonstrating how to apply them in instruction. She also underlined the explicit school regulation on the AI use. And from a district standpoint, the district attempt to provide a hand-on professional development peer support and email based on technical assistance while acknowledging equity concerns for kids who have a limited home internet access. This focus group was also recorded with the participants' permission. And in conclusion, the interviews, the focus groups, and also the research analysis show a strong contradiction between the potential of AI in education and practical limitations on implementing it in Title I schools. Participants generally agreed when utilizing correctly, AI tools may boost creativity, engagement, and individualized learning. However, participants have expressed concern about students' dependence on generative AI for assignments, which weakens their critical thinking and academic integrity. Participants also stated that professional development opportunities exist, still, they are frequently too quick or superficial, with little hands-on application and follow-up assistance to allow educators to integrate AI into their classroom. In addition, teachers want more professional development beyond simply naming technologies and demonstrating teaching practices for AI use. School leaders must develop a clear regulation that define ethical usage for students and faculty, while districts must continue providing devices, reliable internet connectivity, and ongoing training opportunities. Equity surfaced as a significant concern as students in Title I face disproportionately low home access to technology, posing challenges to employing AI learning properly. This concludes my presentation. Thank you so much. Have a great night.